Okay, I have a huge problem with teenagers nowadays training for the wrong reasons, and one of them being because of female attention and desirability to be admired by them. Let's talk about it. Okay, so this video is going to be a bit ranty. Let's start off with why I started training in the first place. So I started training back in 2013 when I was 12 years old, so it's year 7 here in Australia. And man, I remember watching a lot of Bruce Lee movies back in the day, and I wanted to be like him, just like him. You know, aspiring. My dad taught me martial arts. We were training a lot back in the day. But I remember watching Game of Death, and if you guys have seen it, when Bruce Lee in one of those scenes, he was doing a planche push-up. The first time I saw that, I was truly taken aback. I did not know that Bruce Lee could do a planche push-up, pretty much a push-up without using his legs, which is a very incredible feat if you are familiar with calisthenics and the planche. So that was my biggest drive. I wanted to be like him. And my nickname growing up was Bruce Lee. It was Bruce because, well, I was training martial arts with my dad. I had a full bob haircut. I'll probably show you guys right now. That was like my pride and joy growing up because I looked like him, kind of looked like him, and I was training to be like him. Growing up, I didn't have any confidence. I was very self-conscious and I lacked self-esteem because of how skinny I was, damn near anorexic. You know, I was weighing 45 kilos. So when I started training, I was building a lot of muscle, I was getting a lot of strength and also a lot of respect. Over the time of building up my journey and going through training, through martial arts and calisthenics in general, I was building a lot of confidence. I was building my self-esteem. I was growing as a person. So when I see all these other people training because they want to impress these 12-year-old girls, you know, in year 7 or whatnot, it kind of annoys me. To me, it was working towards becoming my hero. When you train for the admiration of women, it's very external. It doesn't last long. And you guys will understand this. For you teenagers watching this, you will understand this once you mature a little bit more and once you start becoming a lot more experienced with fitness. I can only begin to tell you how much that training has elevated me while growing up. I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the biggest, I was very small back in the day. You know, in primary school, I'd get picked on a lot. But since I was training martial art and I was working towards my goals of becoming bigger and stronger through fitness and working out, I had that confidence and I had that respect from other people to tell them, even though yes, I am not bigger than you, but I'm someone that you should be at least aware of, because if you provoke me, then I'm going to respond in kind. There was a point in time when I really liked the girl, but reality hit and she wasn't interested. She didn't share the same feelings as a lot of us will start to realize as we get a little older. So in the face of rejection, I came up with this little idea or this imagination, so to speak, that if I were to train and get so big and strong, then she would have to notice me. And you guys have to realize, after some contemplation, very quickly actually, and some self-reflection, you understand how pathetic that actually sounds. I'm doing this because I want to do this for her. I want to hit this PR because of her. No, you don't. Because guess what? While you're trying to hit that PR for that person, in the end, that person doesn't care. You know, kids nowadays need to understand that relationships, yes, they're first built on attraction. We see a girl that we like, whether we're teenagers or adults, we see a girl that we like, we are attracted to them, they are attracted to us, and then that's the first step. Relationships are first built on attraction. We like each other physically. But over time, that's why we have dates. You go on a date, you get to know a person, you ask them questions, you get to know them, and through the course of the dating period, you start to understand whether you truly want to be with that person. And how does that come around? That comes by asking them and asking yourself, do our values, our principles, and goals and ambitions align with each other? Do we have the same vision? Do we share the same goals in life? Right? And do I have my priorities as a person? Does she? A lot of cringy couples in high school, they hold hands with each other, they're all lovey-dovey, and a week later, they break up with each other. Well, that's because their relationship wasn't built on genuity, right? It wasn't built on a solid foundation. It was built on something very external. These relationships, they first start off on attraction, and then they build off to compatibility. It's chemistry and then compatibility. It's chemistry is how good the relationship feels, and then compatibility is how healthy the relationship is. Okay, you should never base your relationship on how attractive that person is. It's not, oh man, that person looks really good, I'm attracted to her, I'm attracted to him, whatever, and I want to date that person. That's not how it works. That's not how it would ever work. Now, of course, when you are training and you are starting to look good, you're a bit more aesthetic, you're gaining a lot of strength, you feel proud of yourself, you have a lot of self-respect and self-esteem and confidence. That's when females start to have an attraction for you. And I've had my fair share of experiences with females that have liked me solely because that I work out, solely because that I look good and because I train. Well, you can guess where that led. The relationship didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel like the interactions were real because you know that they solely liked you because, well, you were attractive. But after some careful analysis, you start to study the girl, right? What are her goals? What are her plans to do after high school? Does she also work out? Do we share the same values and principles? And you start to ask yourself these questions and you come to the realization that no, we're not compatible with each other. You can listen to the lower head and say, but man, she looks good, I look good, maybe it will work out, maybe I can change her. And no, that's why it's so important to not base your training motives off of trying to impress, trying to get the girl. Because it's very external, it doesn't last long. It would never work in your favor, ever. Right, we all know the typical stories of the guys who get into a relationship with a female. They're together, they live happily for some time, and then they break up. But notice how the guy isn't working out yet. And then they break up, the rejection is there. And now the guy says, okay, I'm gonna work out. I'm going to make her realize on what she's missing out on and why she shouldn't have broken up with me. But now we start to piece the puzzle together. We realize that the guy is now working out because of the girl that left him. But he wasn't working out while they were together, right? It was, man, I landed the girl, I don't need to work out. And that's also a lot of guys as well. You know, it happens both ways. The guy who doesn't work out, he gets into a relationship, he breaks up, he works out. The guy that works out, gets into a relationship, doesn't work out. It doesn't work for anyone. You know, my whole belief system in relationships is if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to better myself because of that person. We're here together, so that means we're going to build together and become even better. Not become complacent and satisfied. A lot of people think, all right, we're getting married, now that's it. My love for you is gone. We don't have to work towards building our relationship even further because they feel like that we've made it, when you never really make it, right? Because love is an action. It's not a feeling. You do it or you act on it. It's a repeated process in order for you to maintain and sustain and develop a relationship. So really, this is a video on trying to prevent teenagers from making a mistake on becoming complacent and working out for the wrong reasons. Because when you work out for yourself, there's truly nothing else coming in between or interfering with you. Because whether you break up, you get a relationship or not, it doesn't matter. You are always training for yourself. It never conflicts with your goals. Nothing messes with you. You guys know Jordan. He was working out with me, got into a relationship now, and he's good. He's working out. He's training together. He's building a relationship up. He's building something. He's not just reached a level. He's building up. He reaches the girl, and then he starts coming down, or it's linear. No, always continuing to grow, and that's how everything should be. So boys, rethink your priorities, reevaluate yourself, and think about the reasons of why you're training. Okay, the last reason should be because of females. There is always going to be a fraction of you that trains and realizes, yes, the girls like shoulders, we're going to work shoulders today. That's going to happen. I guess it's kind of okay to an extent. But you realize deep down, no matter what happens, I'm training because of me. Because of how much training has helped me individually. It's helped me build confidence. It's helped me become a better person. It's helped me learn many things that have also transitioned into other things like my career, my character development, everything. Base your motives off of training because of internal motivation, not because of external. The only time that external motivation will drive you is if it's doubt. If other people are saying, no, you can't do it. No, maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't try it. Then that is the only time that you will probably say, okay, fuck those guys. I'm training now. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that while I was training at the park that I wouldn't work a bit harder because the girl's watching. I would. And regardless of what kind of motivation it is, the main one is because of you. The other one, the side one, not as important, but it still drives you. They are not the determining factor for your continuous progress. It's because you want to find out how much you are capable of. Naturally, you want to find out how much potential you have as a person. Yeah, it's a bit ranty, boys. I know it's a lot to uncover. I do have a lot more to say, but I'm just going to extend the video a bit too long. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, like the video. If you found value in this content, make sure to subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.